In this tutorial, we're going to talk about the interrupt mode. With the interrupt mode, you can interrupt the normal scheduled presentation with user interaction. So essentially what this allows you to do is to create a presentation and have it run just as you normally would, but anytime a person touches the screen or touches the keyboard or moves the mouse, the presentation will jump into a specified timeline. The interrupt mode could be set up in two different ways. One would be where if you interact with the screen, the presentation will jump into the specified timeline. But also we support a screensaver mode where if you touch the screen or move the mouse or touch the keyboard, you'll simply show the desktop of the Mac or Windows operating system. Displaying the desktop is useful, for example, in a point of sale environment where if a person touches the screen and interacts with the screen, you want to show just a regular application that runs within that computer. But as soon as he moves away from that system and there's no interaction with the screen for X number of seconds, you want to go ahead and resume the normal scheduled playback. So let's go ahead and jump into the Sunedge Studio and show you how to configure this. And so here's our Sunedge Studio with our default campaign. There's really nothing special about this campaign. This campaign is called Campaign 1. We'll go ahead and select Campaign 1 to load up its properties and then switch over here to the Kiosk tab. And under the Kiosk tab, we'll go ahead and enable the interrupt mode. Next, we'll talk about the wait time. Over here under the wait time, you'll see that right now we're set to 0 minutes and 10 seconds. This means that if there's no interaction with the screen, again via mouse, keyboard, or gestures, for 10 seconds, the normal presentation schedule is going to kick back on. So as long as there's some interaction with the screen, for example, if this is a point of sale system and a customer is clicking and moving the mouse or doing some type of work, this timer will continue and reset itself. But as soon as the system is idle for 10 seconds, it'll jump back into the regular scheduled programming. So as you can see, I have a presentation running over here and it's just running normally as scheduled. But as soon as I take my mouse and move it over the presentation, you'll notice that the desktop is going to appear. And as you can see right now, I just have a browser open, but if this was a point of sale system, a customer could interact with it. Now as soon as I stop from moving my mouse and I don't do any interaction with the screen, and now we'll wait 10 seconds for the presentation to kick back in. So essentially the show desktop mode acts as if it's a screensaver. So if there's no user interaction for X number of seconds, the desktop will cease to appear and the presentation will kick in. Next, let's go ahead and show you how to jump to a specific timeline instead of showing the desktop, again if there's user interaction. Now with the interrupt mode using the timeline, you can essentially add a button to your presentation. For example, click here for more information. So if a user walks by a screen, he can see this button, take his finger, press on the button, if this is a touch screen of course, and he would automatically be redirected to a different timeline where you can show a website, you can show ads, you can show other content, and again as soon as he walks away from the screen for X number of minutes or seconds, the normal playback will resume. So I went ahead and modified the presentation a little bit. I went ahead and put a scene right here called Press Me, and if I double click on the scene, you'll see that it has a video and it says touch to learn more about the casino. Now I'll go ahead and load the campaign properties, go to its kiosk,